Today, I'm role-playing 5 objection handlers looking to empower you to know what to say. For over 20 years, I've dedicated my life to bringing you the very best selling, marketing, and business building strategies to keep your business thriving. Get ready to experience the success you've been searching for. Welcome to the Tom Ferry Show. Welcome to the Tom Ferry Show. Today, we're going to work on handling 5 of the most common objections you receive. Now, it's going to be a little bit different. I've asked my friend Ryan Jono. Ryan, get over here. Ryan has been with our company since the very beginning, and not only is he a salesperson, and today he helps do sales training for our nearly 90 salespeople. So Ryan is going to give me the objections. I'm going to handle the objections, and it's giving you an opportunity to listen, to watch, to observe. And you know, I'm not going to get into all the patterns. We've certainly covered that enough times on the Tom Ferry Show. You should go back to tomferry.com, search in the blog objection handling if you're not familiar with the patterns. So, Ryan, you got your list?
Yes, I do.
Let's do some objections, buddy. Have at it. So what's number 1?
I have some friends that said they could do the same thing for a lower commission.
Yes. So there's certainly a number of agents in town that will reduce their fee in order to earn your business. I'm curious, and I'm going to open up my laptop. Could you give me one of the friends' names as an example? Because I think it's important that we look at their track record and my track record, not just commissions, which are always variable. So tell me the first person's name.
Nate Secor.
Great. And I type in that person's name into Zillow or into the MLS, and I say, Ryan, Nate's a terrific person. He's sold 3 houses so far this year. Let me show you mine again. As you see, we've done 37 transactions this year. Now, why is that important to you, Ryan? 3 versus 37.
I would say you probably have a lot more experience.
Well, and in the world of experience, when it comes to negotiating the highest possible price for your home, 3 or 37. Nate's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's a friend. He's a pal. Yeah. I mean, look, how quickly did he give up commission points of percentage to you? How fast did he do it? I mean, did you really have to hit him hard? Did you have to wrestle with him? Did you have to rely on your years of history and relationship? Or did you say, we're friends, can you give me a little discount?
The later.
And he quickly gave you a discount?
Yes.
3 transactions a year. 37 transactions a year, on the other hand, I fight actively and aggressively to serve my customer, to get them the highest possible price. I've talked people out of selling their home if it didn't make sense, because I do it a lot. Does that make sense?
Totally.
So if this was just about getting a discount, everybody can do that. You called me because you saw my marketing, you saw my signs, you went on Zillow, you saw my track record, you saw the number of homes I said, and you wanted to shop and compare what I'm doing versus what your friend's doing.
Yeah.
So what are the differences?
You seem a lot better.
Nate's a wonderful guy. He sells houses. We just sell, in this case, nearly 11 times more. And all that means is we built a machine to service more customers, and I get to negotiate more often. So just like if you were going to, heaven forbid, take a loved one to a surgeon, right? If you had to perform the surgery, you're probably going to pick the one that does it, 16 times a week versus the person that does it, 3 or 4 times a year. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Even though they might both be great surgeons, most people say, I want to go with the person that's doing it all the time because they're fresh, they're in the market, they know exactly what they're doing, and they've had enough challenging circumstances to rise above it and solve the problem. This time, Ryan, is exactly like that time. Make sense?
Totally.
So we charge 3% for our services. The question we have to ask tonight is, what do you want to offer to the other side? And that's the direction I would basically go. So that's a long answer, and I hope you picked up on, it's a metaphor. Now, what if Nate is selling the same number of homes as me, right? Yeah. So let's play that scenario out. I think that'd be fair, right? So we're both doing 15 deals a year. Hey, your buddy Nate's doing 15 transactions a year. I'm doing 15 transactions a year. So here's my question for you. Let's look into it a little bit deeper.
Okay.
Nate has done so far this year 11 buyer-controlled sales. That's outstanding. And he's had 4 listings sold. I've had 13 listings sold and 2 buyer-controlled sales. In the real estate business, one of the questions you have to ask yourself is, are you hiring a listing agent or are you hiring someone to represent you on the buy side? Sounds like you should hire Nate to help represent you on the buy side and me to help you on the sell side, just based upon the numbers. What do you think?
That totally makes sense, actually.
Yeah, so right, I'm gonna give example after example. Now look, whether you're using your MLS, you're using Zillow, you're using some other strategy to look at people's numbers, let's play the game if he won't give me his friend. Let's do that, right? So Ryan, I appreciate the fact that your friend would give you a discount. There's lots of people in the marketplace that will dramatically reduce their commissions all the time to win the business. Do you mind if I ask, because I like to look at the data, who's your friend?
You know, Tom, I just don't feel comfortable kind of giving my friend out.
Sure, that's fine, that's fine. So here's my question for you. I charge 3%, and for that, I do all of this marketing. And my current list to sell ratio, I list it here, and I'm right now at 101% of my list to sale price. I've had 2 expired listings this year. Everything else has sold at or above, on average, list price. What about your friend?
Not quite at that level.
Okay. Yeah. So everybody's got a friend in the business. I actually used to say for a long time, if you didn't have a friend in real estate in our town, you probably didn't have any friends.
Yeah.
So I guess I'd also ask, why is it that your friend is so readily discounting their commission? Like why? Like did you have to really hit him hard to get him to do it, or did you just say, "We're friends, would you do me a favor?" and they said yes?
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine, and I've known him for a long time, and so he said, "You know what, Ryan, I was going to give you a break, because you're my buddy."
Sure, cool. So here's the general challenge with that. Someone that will readily discount their commission that quickly, just because they're a friend, or a friend of a friend, or a friend of a friend of a friend, or you're referred by a buddy, someone that gives it up that quickly, my concern is, how rigorous will they attack your bottom line when it's time to negotiate the final sales price and the terms of your property? I'm a little more rigorous. People even say it to me at times, "Tom, you're a little militant, right? You're maybe a little too tough." I've had sellers say to me, "Tom, it's okay, we'll accept the deal," because I get in there and I fight so hard to help my clients win, because that's just my sense of pride. Does that make sense?
Totally.
So between the two of us, based on that new information, who's the best person for you to hire?
Yeah, I think I would be more comfortable having you represent my house.
Right? So again, I'm gonna win every time, no matter what. And I think we're all clear as you're watching this, there's a number of different ways that you can attack every objection. I don't always have all of the context, so I'm gonna try and hit it from a couple different points of view, looking to bring you more value. So what's number 2?
Number 2 is, we had a specific number that we wanted to get the home sold for.
I know, Ryan. And when we went through all of the sales, and all of the expireds, and all the pending prices, and all the homes that are closed recently, I want to get every one of my clients hundreds of thousands of dollars more. But see, Ryan, I'm not buying the house, right? My job is to market and expose your home to the highest number of quality agents and buyers, online and offline, to create a frenzy of opportunities to people that want to write offers to ideally drive the price up. So here's the challenge. It really doesn't matter what you want, right? Like when you go out to go buy your next home, are you gonna basically look at every one of the prices and say, "You know what? I'm gonna give them even more"?
No.
How are you gonna start your negotiations?
I'm gonna try to get the best deal possible.
And don't you think every other buyer on the planet is thinking the same thing?
Yes.
So you know what we actually do? We actually, in this case, go to a 3 pricing strategy. So let me educate you on this. And I'm sorry I didn't bring it up in the first place. I believe that most agents have one approach to listing a property. They see the seller, they look at the comps, and they say, "What do you think?"
Yeah.
And the seller says, "I like this price, but I want more," right? Every seller wants more, wants less commission, do it in the quickest amount of time possible, make it as stress-free as possible, right?
Yeah.
I actually have 3 different approaches. I say to you, here's the needle in the haystack price, where I say, let's go slightly above the last comp. And the reason why is you've got a beautiful home, it's in a desirable neighborhood, the likelihood of selling this home is pretty high, right? And you know that and I know that.
Yeah.
So that's one option. Pricing option number 2 is we go right at fair market value. And what the studies are showing, right, and I can show you some examples of this, is in our marketplace, when we listed at fair market value, we're gonna have a few offers within the first 30 days. Because the home is desirable and it's in a great community. If it was an outlier property, if the home wasn't as nice, that wouldn't happen. Does that make sense?
Totally.
But my most savvy clients will say to me, "Tom, I want to list it there, but I understand that, that needle in the haystack pricing strategy is probably not the ideal strategy because of your timing."
Yes.
Right? If you said to me, "Sell it in the next 6 months," we can go needle in the haystack. but you told me you wanted to be moved in the next 120 days.
Yes.
So I've got to market it, expose it, get the people inside here, get some offers going, get some negotiations happening, close the property, giving you guys enough time so you don't have to make a double move, right?
Yeah, totally.
So consider the following. The third pricing strategy is where we actually list it directly below fair market value. Now, you've seen auctions before, right?
Yes.
And you know do you know the general, like how auctions work?
Yeah, totally.
They never come in and say, let's go to the highest possible price and drop it down. What do?
They go to the lowest.
The lowest price.
And go up.
And as they go up, what happens?
The kind of frenzy goes up higher.
The frenzy goes up higher, the non-real buyers drop off,
yes.
and you identify the 2 or 3 ones, and in a perfect world, what you create is, what's that phrase called? A bidding war. A bidding war.
Yes.
So what we might want to consider, and I can actually show you some examples of how we've done this in the past, where we priced it below fair market value. We throw a mega open house, and I mean, I'm going to get 150 potential buyers and agents the following week through the house. And it's going to be priced below fair market value. And people are going to say, wait a minute, first, what's wrong with the house? Which is why they're all going to show up. Because they're going to say, that house, this neighborhood, that location, at this price, Tom Ferry must be an idiot. They're going to say things like that. But then they're going to show up and go, wait a minute, this home is remarkable. And at this price, and then they're going to look at the number of people in the house. And guess what their smart agents are going to say? We're going to be in a bidding war. So how badly do you want this house? And we may get 5 offers, 6 offers, 7 offers. So the question you have to ask yourself tonight in terms of pricing is, you want to create a situation where we have multiple offers, a couple offers, or waiting for an offer?
Multiple offers.
Okay, so instead of maybe pricing it high, let's be counterintuitive and price it below fair market value. And remember, you don't have to accept any offer. You're empowered.
Okay.
My job, though, is to get you the highest possible net proceeds for the home. And I know if I start here, we chase the market. I know if we start here, we're going to have good activity. But if we go below a home like yours, I mean, it's going to be, metaphorically, blood in the ocean with sharks. You with me on this?
I'm with you on that.
And my job, and that's a horrible example, but my job is to try and create that frenzy so people are writing offers that you're satisfied with. So you were thinking 369?
Yeah.
Why don't we start right at like 329? It's going to create a frenzy.
All right, let's do that.
Press hard, lots of copies, buddy.
Okay.
Boom. All right, so another example, and you've seen me do that on the Tom Ferry Show before, and we have clients in New York City that are doing that at $2 million sales prices using that 3 pricing strategy. Strongly recommended. What's number 3?
Oh, Tom, we're just not ready to pull the trigger now. I need some time to think about it.
I understand. So, so since 2 minds are always better than 1, what specifically, I mean, I honor that.
Yeah.
What specifically do you need to think about?
Oh, it's just that it's a timing. It's kind of the holidays. We have Thanksgiving coming up.
Sure.
And then we have Christmas.
Yes.
I have a huge family.
Yes.
I'm Chinese, so we have big parties and
Yes.
big people all the time.
Yes.
So I'm just thinking it might be better if we waited to January.
I understand. So here's the good news. Whatever you want to do is entirely fine with me. Does that make sense? If you want to list it now, you want to list it then. But let's talk about timing.
Okay.
And again, whatever you want to do is fine. In the 4th quarter, the number of homes that are on the market drops for exactly what you're bringing up. People are thinking about the holidays. I'm thinking about the holidays. You're thinking about the holidays. A lot of people are. The number of homes drop, and everyone says, I'm going to put it on in January. I'm going to put it on in springtime. And I'm doing this for a reason, Ryan, because this represents the number of homes that are on the market for the same number of buyers that are always there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it really comes down to this. If there was an advantage to putting it on the market now, selling it because there's less inventory and you guys have a magnificent home, and then timing the negotiations and the close, or maybe a rental where we lease the property back and we get it for a couple months for free as an example, if we can create a scenario like that, would that be of interest? If we can get you a fantastic price and the right terms in the 4th quarter, that's an option. Or we put it on the market when everybody else does. And it's basic supply and demand.
Yeah.
Less homes on the market, same number of buyers. Ready? Lots more homes on the market, less number of buyers. I'm here to serve. What would you like to do?
I think we could deal with putting on the market now.
Okay. Yeah. And again, the worst case scenario is if it doesn't go under contract, guess what we can do? We can turn it off.
Okay.
Okay, we can turn it off. I mean, worse things have happened.
Okay.
What would be perfect is that we stage the home, we do all the things we discussed in our marketing plan, how we unveil the property, we get it under contract in the first 30 days, and then in the middle of that, we're negotiating, ready? Hey, you guys can't move in right away, they want to enjoy the holidays, you guys can take possession January 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. These are all negotiation points. Now, if we can't get what we want, do we have to accept the offer?
No.
No, right? And if you choose to put it on the market in January, I'm fine with that as well.
Okay.
I'm your real estate agent. I'm your professional. I'm here to serve.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Totally.
But I want to just give you the lesser homes on the market, the same number of buyers versus lots of homes on the market, and that we can negotiate those, renting back your property, which it happens.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Totally.
So what are you guys comfortable doing?
As long as we could do that, it's kind of a no-brainer. I think I could just put it on the market now.
Cool. Yeah. So the most important thing, and I know, especially as this market, maybe for some of you watching this, is that there's always this pressure to close now and to get it now, and I think there's just a powerful way to be, which is I'm here to serve, I'm here to help. So whether you want to do it now or do it later, but it's our job to be the knowledge broker to explain what happens in this quarter versus that quarter. That could be summer versus spring versus fall versus, you all know the deal. All right, what's objection number 4?
Tom, I love you. You're a freaking great agent. and there's just, I promised to interview at least 2 other agents.
Wonderful.
And so I want to interview them next.
Okay.
And then
okay.
I feel really good about working with you, though.
Good. So was that a promise to yourself or was that a promise to them?
Both.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. So no problem, Ryan. So let me ask you a question. What specifically are you looking for that was different? I'm just curious. I mean, we've got a natural rapport.
Yeah.
We didn't know each other prior to this.
I know.
But I've sold a bunch of homes in the area, and obviously you've checked out my track record. I actually checked out your track record as well.
Yeah.
I was on LinkedIn. I've seen what you've done. So, we've got some common ground. You've seen my marketing plan. You know my track record. What are you looking for specifically that would be maybe different or better?
Honestly, you're really good. I mean, I can't think of anything else.
You're kind. I mean, I take this, obviously you take your profession very seriously. I see that, and I do the same. So, we respect that.
Yeah.
But if there isn't something different, my question is, why waste the time?
It's a good question. Yeah, I mean...
I'm not asking you to break your promise.
Okay.
I'm asking you to consider, if there's nothing different, let's move forward.
Yeah.
I can't let you off the hook,
Yeah.
but I can call them out of professional courtesy. We've all done it before. I'll call and say,
Okay.
Hey Sarah, I was with Ryan. We just had a natural connection. If you got a buyer, please bring him in early. Let's do something. But I strong-armed him. I can tell her that. I mean, it's professional courtesy amongst friends. The harder part for them is that they walk into the appointment knowing that you and I are already here, and we've got this great rapport and connection and mutual respect, and then they're basically in the 8-ball position the entire time.
Yeah.
Right? Or worse, they might do something that they don't want to do. So I think we just remove that from the equation. If you're comfortable, we move forward. If you're not, you can interview them. I'm totally fine. What do you want to do?
You're great. I could call them. I'll just tell them.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your business.
You're welcome.
Right now, listen, there's a lot of different ways you can do this. You never want to burn the other agents under any circumstances. You want to flush out, why? Was this a promise you made to them or a promise you made to yourself, right? You're not asking him to break his promise, but if you did pay attention, there was an embedded command used inside there for some of us that understand the Jedi language. So how did that feel? I'm just curious for you.
That actually felt really good. I was feeling uncomfortable telling them that I wasn't going to see them.
Sure.
And then when you took that away from me and you said that I'll call them for you, then I thought to myself, nah, I'm not going to be weak like that.
Yeah.
I'm strong enough to call them and take responsibility for picking who I really want to pick.
Yep, that's exactly right. And that's by the way, that's the feeling you want the client to have. Yeah. All right, so what's the last objection?
You already handled it. It was waiting for the holidays.
So let's play, all right, so let's do the holidays again specifically, all right? So Ryan, I can appreciate the fact you're thinking about waiting for the holidays. You know what? That's an excellent idea. Can I tell you why?
Sure.
A lot of agents are going to start pounding on you saying, there's 9 reasons why you should list during the holidays and 7 advantages to listing during the holidays. And there are a lot of advantages. Supply and demand is different, but at the end of the day, you guys have a beautiful home. and you've got a desire to do what you guys want to do during the holidays. So what I would love to do is I'd like a handshake or even a signed agreement that says, Tom, start marketing my house on January 7th or whatever day you choose. And then with your permission, I want to start doing some early pre-marketing, as if we call it a pocket listing, right? And that's the kind of the phrase you'll hear where it's not inside the MLS, right? An agent has it in their pocket, and they kind of go around to their best buyers and their best brokers and say, I've got this charming 3-bedroom, 2-bath bungalow at the corner of Humma Humma Nunna Nunna. You know what they all say? When's it coming on the market, Tom? When's it coming on the market? Because they got 2 or 3 buyers. With your permission, I'd like to get some of that going. And when the home is dressed up and ready to go for the holidays, nothing better than if with your permission, you can say no, having a few of those buyers see the house during the holidays. Because then we might have 3, 4, 5 buyers and 3 or 4 or 5 offers ready to go before we even hit the market. Does that make sense?
That totally makes sense.
And again, you're in control, you're in the driver's seat. You could say no to showings. Maybe we pick one day, right, where we just open up the house when it's really, decked out for the holidays and let them just get a little frothy, and then let them come back in January when it hits the market and they can start writing offers. Either way is fine.
That sounds good to me.
Now, the reason I love that, guys, even though you saw me handle the objection earlier where I was doing the opposite, supply and demand, right, same number of buyers, lower net inventory versus the, what comes on in the market, is I like being different. If all the agents are saying 9 reasons to list during the holidays and 7 reasons why now, and oh my God, and they're doing that, and the number of buyers that show up during the holidays are serious buyers. We all know these great scripts, these great dialogues, but oftentimes, it's like power to the people. Give the people what they want. Right? And then once he said yes, and I could say, let's get a signed agreement, I've got the listing, who cares if I put it on the market on January 7th or 6th or 4th, right? Versus having to do it right now. So again, playing the long game and trying to make it great for the client and good for my business to win. So those are my 5. Listen, just first of all, Ryan, first time on the Tom Ferry Show, congratulations. So my friends that are watching this, first of all, I would encourage you to go back to tomferry.com, go to the blog, search objection handling. There's a bunch of language patterns. I mean, we've both been well trained in all these different language patterns. He's teaching it to our team. So you heard the patterns, you experienced the patterns. It would be important for all of you to watch. Go back to tomferry.com, go to the blog, do a search on objection handlers, watch a few of the episodes, read some of the stuff, look at some of the scripts and dialogues, but most importantly, know this. Knowledge equals confidence and ignorance equals fear, right? I was thinking about an episode I shot, this is almost a year ago, where I said to people, when I get an objection, I get excited, right? Because they want to do business with me. They want to do, that's why they're saying, well, we're not sure, right? They want to do business, but they've got a question in their mind, and I frame it for myself emotionally that every objection is one step closer to a yes. And if I stay focused on giving the customer what they want, honoring where they're at, and then providing new information and new resources to make better decisions, then I win. And that's what it's all about, my friends. So thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see your comments below. And by the way, post the objection you get the most so we handle that for them as well. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember always, your strategy matters. And now more than ever, Ryan Jono absolutely rules. Hey, it's Coach Tom Ferry. Have you been considering hiring a coach? If so, click the link below and check out what we do.